It's preparing.
Yes, come up on here. How do I get rid of that?
I don't know.
How do I turn off my notification noise?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's live now.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, it's preparing.
Yes, come up on here.
Yeah, there's going to be, okay, so we're just getting this out of our system right now.
I don't know.
There's going to be a delay.
How do I turn off my notification noise?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's live now.
Okay. Hello.
Hi, it's preparing.
Hi, everyone.
Yes, come up on here.
Yeah, there's going to be, okay, so we're just getting
This is going to be
out of
so
our system
hard
right
with the
now.
delay that's on here.
There's going to be a delay.
How do I turn off my notification noise?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's live now.
Sorry, guys. I just need to figure this out.
Hi, it's preparing.
Hi, everyone. I can't see the screen on there.
Yeah, there's going to be, okay, so we're just
We
it's gonna be
are
so
coming
hard
on
with
right
the
now to
delay.
get this out of our system.
There's going to be a delay.
So I'm going to have the chat box up on my screen over here.
I'm pretty sure it's live now.
Sorry, guys. I just need to figure this out. So funny to hear myself back. I can't see the screen on there. We are coming on right now to get this out of echoing. So I'm going to have the chat box. Hi, everyone. We have no idea what we're going to do today. It's going to be really hard with this. So funny to hear myself back. There's a 20-second delay. So what I'm saying, it's not coming up for another at least 20 seconds. So it's weird. I hear it on the computer screen. It's going to be really hard with this. It will not be the only collaboration for us. We're just doing a short one right now to get it out of our system. We don't know what we're going to be doing. I don't know if I'm going to be pulling cards. I have no idea. So it's weird. I hear it on the computer screen. Thank you for being here, Wendy. She's going to be our moderator. W. Luna Bo. It will not be the only collaboration for us. We're doing a short one right now to get it out of our system. We don't know what we're going to be doing. I don't know if I'm going to be. There's feedback. Pulling cards. I have no idea. She's going to be our moderator. W. Luna Bo.
How are they receiving it on the live?
Yes, headphones. There's feedback. I don't know if I have headphones. Sorry, guys. Hi, Beverly. Do you have your screen up that you can see the chat? Yes, headphones. I don't know if I have headphones. Sorry. I think it's probably echoing off of your screen. Yeah, I'm gonna look. The only headphones that I have are downstairs.
I've got some, so if I put some on.
You have some?
Yeah.
Thank you for being patient. The Matrix can't handle your high vibes. That's right. Thank you.
A big.
So I feel like the squeaky echo might be coming from my end though. Oh my God, you look like a pilot. Because I have it up on my YouTube and on Zoom.
With these on, it's got rid of all of the feedback completely though.
You don't hear any feedback right now? Do you guys hear any feedback anymore? Oh my God, you look like a pilot. Because I have it up on my YouTube and better? They said it was better. Zoom.
Cool. With these on, it's got rid of all of the feedback completely though.
You don't hear any feedback right now? Do you guys hear any feedback anymore? Thank you. Hi, Fallon. Hi, Mysterious Energy. I feel like you need to have the chat up too, though. Because I have it up on my.
How do I do that?
Better? You gotta pull up your YouTube. And watch the live, really.
Okay.
Just on mute. Thank you. Hi, Fallon.
Sorry, I'm not good with tech people.
Mysterious Energy. feel like you need to have the chat up too, though. Sorry for anybody watching this back. I don't know that I'm gonna play the replay of this. You gotta pull up your YouTube. Still feedback. Still feedback because it's coming from mine. I feel like we're both gonna need headphones. Still feedback. Oh, you know what it is? Hang on. Oh, I'm gonna mute it. I think I just solved it. Let me know how that is, guys. No feedback. Right? Duh. I just had to find the video. And 3, 2, 1. Start over. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with my divine masculine, Lloyd. Say hello. I don't think you need those headphones on anymore, actually. No more feedback, right, guys? Yep, it's better. You don't have to have your headphones on. You don't have to fly the plane anymore. Okay, did you pull up your YouTube so that you can see the chat or no?
No, because it was just
okay. I'll just translate for you when everyone is talking. But you know what? It might be better if you do. Do you know how to do that? Because you can follow the chat if I pull some cards or something.
Okay.
So while you do that, hi guys, thank you for coming. We're going to just do a quick, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to sit here and we're going to talk to you. We're going to answer questions and we're going to get this out of our system, all the technical stuff. Thank you for all your feedback about the feedback or lack of feedback. I'm so excited for you guys all to be here. I'm excited for you to finally see us together. We've been talking about it for a while. We've been talking about doing a collaboration, and we just actually recorded a video together about something we were talking about earlier today, and doubt. I've gotten a lot of questions about doubt when it comes to my twin, and is he my twin? Is he not my twin? Why are people triggered? And I'll probably post that video with us tomorrow. I have to edit it a little bit, but then we'll post it tomorrow. And then we were just like, let's go live. Let's go see everyone. So here we are. So I want to be able to pull some cards. I got a couple new decks and everything, but I don't know what you guys want to talk about. Maybe if you guys have any questions or if you wanted to, I don't know, dig into something real quick. We only have just a little bit of time. I got to go get my kids after this, but can you see the chat over there, babe?
Yeah, I can. Okay. I can see it now. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so if you're watching and you see a question on there or whatever, let's just chat. Let's just chat for a little bit. Hi, Shane. Shane's on there. So cool to see you both together. The two biggest effects on my healing on one screen. God love you, Shane.
Hi, Shane. You all right?
So Shane has had a couple of live sessions with me, and I was guided to also send him to Lloyd, that he needed a session with Lloyd too. And it's divine masculine energy that a lot of the healing that we do is pretty similar, but they were telling me he needed Lloyd, he needed Lloyd, he needed Lloyd. And so he went to Lloyd too. And it feels like the combination of my sessions and his sessions may have helped to break through a big block for Shane. So I hope that's where you are still right now, Shane. But anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know that it feels like the combination between our energies is something we're going to be doing more of.
Okay, we got a question.
Yeah, what did she say?
This is from Rail Doria.
Yeah.
Did Lloyd come to you before your eyes were open to him being your real DM?
Yes. Yes, Lloyd and I used to talk all the time. We would work together, and he was doing his Atlantean healing, and I would send clients to him. His sister does the Atlantean healing too, and I was working with her all the time too. And so we were just talking back and forth for, I don't know, probably like 5 months. I did healings for him and his twin, and or just him on his twin journey. I did readings for him, and he did readings for me as well. And so we were right there with each other. We were just collaborating kind of in that way, and our eyes were not open to each other as an option at all. Mine weren't anyway. And yeah. Or did your eyes open first before he came to you? So he did a healing on me. I was going through something really, really heavy, and it was almost like I was in mourning for my twin. And he was being guided to send me a healing, but really it was like he said, they're just guiding me to just hold you. Like, you need to let it out, and they're just guiding me to just hold you. And he's in England. I'm in the US. So obviously we're talking energetically. I don't know if we've said that before either, that there's that distance there, that he lives pretty far away. And it was super, super, super supportive. And I cried the ugly cry for like an hour, and then I fell asleep like I had never had before. And I'd never felt that kind of support before, ever. It seriously just felt like he was laying right next to me, just holding me through it. And I guess a couple months, like 2 months later or something, things were still not unfolding with my twin. And they came to me one day and they said that Lloyd has something to tell you. Lloyd has something to tell you. And I was like, okay. I texted him and I said, apparently you have something to tell me. What do you have to tell me? And he said something about we had a past life. We were followers of Jesus, which we both knew already. We've already gotten that through our guidance. But they also let him know that he was a very powerful energy that was there. And he told me that. And they were like, yeah, that's part of it, but there's more. And I said, they're saying that there's still more. There's still more. What is it? And there was more, and he told me more. And then I said, hey, thank you for the donation, by the way. Thank you. I didn't see who that came in from. Through my eyes, Trish's truth. Thank you, Trish. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that one for you for sure. And they said, no, there's more. There's more. And I said, you have more to tell me. And can you tell that side?
Yeah, I can. So at that initial point where I was guided by my team just to hold Karen in unconditional love while she was going through a hard time. I just went in like I would normally do on a healing, called in all my team. Everybody was there, but the whole experience was completely different, and it involved traveling in our macabre. We actually went to Sirius, to a healing chamber, and they laid us down together and performed what I can only describe as a ceremony, which sort of bonded us together. And I was like, and this felt odd to me. Yeah, what the fuck's going on? Literally, because I wasn't expecting it either. Then we came back, and it didn't sit comfortable, so I didn't initially say anything to Karen about it, because it was almost something that wasn't in my control.
5:05 right now.
So so I just sort of kept that to myself, although I did know she was asleep. I knew she'd fallen asleep during it.
Yeah. So it felt weird because it was like meant to be part of my healing, and he never had anything that was like personal like that in a healing.
Yeah,
so
very much.
Why did you keep it to yourself?
Why?
Yeah.
because I had to process it myself, what it meant and what it was for myself to sit in it. But from that day on, I had taken a completely different energy. I'd up-leveled, should we say, and that was like a defining moment of my balancing, shall I say, of my two halves. So it was almost an infusion of your energy with mine had caused that. I don't know, it's like I was floating around for weeks. So that's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah. So he told me too that I said, what does that mean? Like I was triggered almost right away as soon as he told me. I was like, what does that mean? First of all, I was like asleep and I was mourning something about like someone else. And he was just, as healers, we don't project our personal energy and feelings into a session. Like we set up protection ahead of time to make sure that that doesn't happen. We're not trying to transfer what's coming from our experience other than through what they want you to understand through our filter. It's different though. We're not projecting our needs or our wants or our energies into a client. And at that point, he's my friend, but it's a healing session. We do it the same either way. And so I think that he was nervous about, did I project it or what does that mean? Or are they showing us something? Obviously it was something pretty powerful. And he also said, all I know is that ever since that day, I carry a piece of you with me. And it was in the middle of the trauma stuff that we were talking about and all of the trauma energy, the trauma bonds that I was going through and going over, and those videos that I posted about that. And it triggered probably the ability to release the trauma bond from my twin at the time. I was upset, first of all, that he hadn't told me, but that it happened while I was sleeping. And I did not talk to him again for several hours. I went and I did a major meditation. A client of mine is a psychotherapist and she happened to connect with me that day. And I was like, I need to figure this thing out. And what is going on? It was just like kicked me in my face, like what? And I could tell that the ceremony that he was talking about, I was almost download after download immediately as soon as he told me that. And it felt very powerful. It felt like a divine kind of ritual ceremony. And it made me very nervous. And it triggered a trauma release for me. And my ability to speak my truth in what I felt like was kind of an intrusion. It's not where he was coming from. It wasn't intentional at all. He was just there holding me as they told him to, so that they could put us in that situation and show it to us. I don't know that either one of us would have seen it unless they put us in that place where they showed it to us like that. Especially not me, because I was knee deep in a massive trauma bond. I was kicking and screaming saying, but I want it to be my twin. What does this mean? And I was in the middle of holding on as tight as I possibly could to the definition of twin. Well, what I've always known, this distorted twin, that whatever. So we went from there. And it was massive realizations almost immediately. The channels and the downloads that I got after that were just on hyperdrive. And my abilities heightened, and there was no denying that this was something so, so, so powerful that wasn't in my awareness and was now. And I needed to make my way to what the message was about it and figure out the connection. Right? Does that about sum it up?
That's a pretty good job.
Okay. So he was right there in front of my face. And I was not, until it was put in front of my face and it was like, this is an option. We're going to put you guys in some sort of ritual ceremony in Sirius. And in order to show you, the templates are that strong. That's the only way that we're going to be able to show you. And they did. And it seriously knocked me off my horse for a little bit. And then it showed me that there was the possibility of a different horse. And as soon as I realized that, as soon as I opened my eyes to it, I'm telling you, my awareness to that was just like, oh, Andy's fucking amazing. Really? Is it possible that it was there in front of my face this entire time? What? And it's just been constant exploration since then. And there's way more to come after that. There was way more that happened after that, that it's just been like boom, 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 boom. There is no doubt. We get numbers and signs all the time. So I said 505 earlier, and it comes up like we have had so much confirmation and so much validation since that time. It's just nonstop. And we interpret it as we're talking. It's just like, it's part of our conversation. It's like 505. You know what that means? Big changes on either end. This is our 0 point where we both come in together, and there's big changes for you, big changes for me. And in the center is the collective. This is the united force in the middle of both of our changes that is seeing the difference in the two of us. That's what 505 just meant to me. That was intense. I gotta take my jacket off. So, all right, sorry, Cosmic Lotus. She says, hello, are they together? Define together. That's another thing that we're gonna be talking about too, is defining together. I don't know that there's any way for us to be apart. We are not separate. He lives in England and I live here. So being open to whatever together means from the universe, we're open to it. Whatever that means for us. Right?
Yeah, very much. Like you say, part of my energy healing journey has been about quite powerful stuff distantly, and yeah, distance is just an illusion, just as time is. Really, it's energies that we can send to each other, support each other. Yeah, so there is technically no separation there.
Yeah, I skipped over the part where it was really hard. I still went through some mourning and had to let go of my twin and let go of the idea of my twin, and come to the realization that catalyst twins, false twins, whatever that is real. It's what I was going through. It made so much sense for what a divine connection is meant to be, and the distortions that I was sitting in the middle of because of a trauma bond that I wasn't seeing until they put it in front of my face. I wasn't ready to see it yet. So I still had to go through the transition process and the mourning that comes with being traumatically attached to my twin for 2 years. I had to go through that, and he went through it with me. And we supported each other through it, and we still do. There's still things that come up. There's stuff that came up today about you know, that are connected to the twin, because it's not like it just drops away. There's so much within the belief system that and within our knowing that comes to our awareness every single day of how this is unfolding, and what that connection was with our twins, past life connections, and how is it that they weren't, or how do I understand what that was? So why did it feel like such a magnetic connection? And if it's you, then what was that all about? We're still discovering all of that, and we're talking it out and figuring it out as we go. And they are showing us stuff at like this kind of rate. It's just like boom, 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 boom. You guys are ready. You're ascending. You're getting ready to do some major magic shit together. So buckle up. We went through the morning phase of it. Now we're going through all the other phases of, who knows, moving on, ascension, whatever the next stage is after realizing that you had a catalyst twin. You've come into the awareness of that. What's next on this journey? And what comes after union with a divine counterpart? What comes after that? There's still exploration. They're still triggering each other. But there's healthy communication, and there is growth together. So that's all the stuff that we're going to be getting into. Do you see anything else on there? I hope that answered your question.
Very much. Well,
So somebody else said what Cosmic Lotus said too, and it said, hello, are they together? That's what people want to know. They want to know, is this divine union, right? Are either of you in relationship with others? No.
No.
No. No, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine wanting that, or like, no way.
No, that doesn't work for me. At this time and space anyway.
So Wendy said, how did you leave the other week and go back home, Lloyd? Wasn't that a killer for you both? So he came to visit me like 2 weeks ago. If you guys don't know, he came to visit me for a week, a couple of weeks ago.
So for me, I didn't want to leave. I could have quite easily stayed and left everything behind. It's only the fact that I have children that I came home, and it's been hard ever since. It's something I'm working through at the moment. Is this pull, this yeah, it's hard at the moment.
It fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sucks ass. That's what it does. And but at the same time, it's also given us an opportunity to enhance a lot of our gifts and work on different things. There's a lot of more telepathic communication going on, almost knowing we're doing the same things at the same time. We're doing meditations where we're seeing the same things, yet we're on having exactly the same experiences. So there's no doubt it's divine. The connection is pure.
There's such a crazy flow to it. There's such a flow to it that is just undeniable. But it's slow building. We were just talking today about the difference between that and the connection that we had with our twins, that like immediate, like intense, magnetic kind of pull to each other and this familiarity. And that's like a past life pull. This has been different. This has been a slow build, and it's powerful in a divine way where we have this inner knowing about what is in the process of happening. But it's building for both of us. It's almost like the woman that I told you about that is the psychotherapist that helped me with the work. She was pulling cards for me one day too, and said that I lead a tantric life. So my entire life is meant to be a slow build and a learn, because I need time in each moment and each phase for it to be a learning experience. And it's meant to build up to something immense and intense and magnetic, but it's building intimate love. And I've never known how to do that. So.
Exactly the same for me. It's almost because of the distance, we do most of our communication just through talking. If I was closer to Karen, maybe there'll be other stuff going on and less talking. But the way that's unfolded for me is it's made me sit in my emotions, which is really hard for a man to do. It's the hardest thing. We're programmed not to feel our emotions from very young, and sitting there, what is it telling me? What are my feelings telling me? And I'm learning more and more through this part of being physically in different places, of just how powerful my emotions are and how I can use them to my advantage for with my psychic abilities and that sort of thing.
He's so psychic. So first of all, Deborah White says Lloyd's awfully cute. LOL. Yes, he is. And then Tamar, is it Tamar or is it Tamar? You're always on here and I always see you. I see you, girl. I really want to know how to say your name so I don't butcher it. She said, have you had many lifetimes together? And this is something else that we had been
discussed
talking about
today.
too. Yeah, we just talked about it today, actually. It's one of the biggest differences between what me and my twin had, which I believe were a bunch of lifetimes together, and me and Lloyd. And I don't think that we've had any lifetimes together other than one in Atlantis, maybe Lemuria before that. But Atlantis is the one that we have felt most called to and recognize as where we were, and within the purest form of unconditional love and connection and unity. that we could ever be in. And that's where we originated. And when it fell, we were split and almost had, I think, I don't know, it's unfolding, like karmic contracts to be played out with other people through other lifetimes in order for us to come back together in this lifetime and come back to the remembrance of the pure love from the very beginning.
It's a template. The template we had in Atlantis is what we're relearning and bringing back to now. It's breaking the paradigms of how things are supposed to be, or how we're taught things are supposed to be in the 3D world as such. So it's from a completely different place, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Crystal Wyatt said, I'm completely being triggered. We know. That's another thing that we talked about too, was it triggers doubt. That what you've been holding on to and the connection that you have been holding on to so tightly. What does that mean for me? Does that mean that that's the same situation for me? And if the person that I'm with is a catalyst twin or a false twin, what does that mean for me? Like, my whole identity is in being a twin and being on this twin flame journey. What is your trigger? What is your trigger connected to? If it's connected to doubt and fear, there are answers beyond that. We went through those triggers too. We went through those triggers, and we want to be able to answer these things for you guys and help you through those. And like I always say, create launching points instead of triggers. We don't need to sit in the fear of them. We need to sit in the possibility of them and allow ourselves to be launched by, what is this telling me? What is this telling me? Is this telling me that I need to just like unfollow this girl's YouTube page? Or do I need to follow more of what she's saying, because this could be a possibility for me as well? More of that to come. We only have just a little bit too. I love where this is going. Someone said, what if you split up again? What if you get split up again? Well, we're split up now. I mean, not when we're talking about like relationship and those kind of 3D constructs, but he lives in England and I live here. And there, we have no idea what comes next. All we know is that we are just leaning in and allowing ourselves to be guided. We're working together to manifest the things in our life that we're being guided to manifest. And from there, we don't know what happens from there. Is it that the construct of a relationship now in this new environment is that he's there and I'm here and we visit? We don't know yet.
It's almost like you say, for my journey and how it's unfolded for me, it's almost having faith, complete faith in upstairs. This has been brought to us for a reason. There's no doubt. It's divinely guided. There's the signs, synchronicities we get with Jesus and the support from the angels and everything. It's almost like being bombarded, like you say, everything. When I was in America with Karen, at first it was because we hadn't physically met. We were nudging each other a little bit, but then we just got into this, I can only call it divine flow, where we were just being led by spirit, literally, and we ended up doing some of the most amazing earth healings and experiences I've had in my life, just by being led completely. And it's
Can't wait to tell you all about it too.
Yeah, it was just something else. And that's the mission that you say. It's like I say, we were there, we were walking, we were basically removing dense energies from the lands and things over there, all guided by spirit. I've never done anything like that before in my life. I got Merlin literally turn up the day before he starts telling me how to do this sort of shit. So I just listen and then we do it.
Yeah, and new things are opening up, like as we're together. We're like, have you ever done this before? You're like, no, I've never done this before, but they're telling me that we need to do this. I'm like, me too. Let's go do it. Let's go make some magic. It's like the most potent alchemy, and it's so clear that it's alchemy as we're doing it. There's no doubt about it. Wendy said 2222, and she's in England too.
Cool. Yeah.
222. There's so many questions here, and I really want to answer everybody's questions. I want to explain things to people. I want to be able to do that. Somebody had a donation on here. If you want to go through and maybe look at a question, I want to look at the donation one and answer whatever her question was on there. Wait a minute, I found it. I recently had contact from my divine masculine, but they were insults. I just said disagree, and he said enjoy the beach. So, Trish, if you have a question that you want me to answer or pull a card on, I'll do that for you right now. I kind of had the same thing with my twin though. And I think part of the problem is connecting in twin with divine masculine. I had to figure out that my twin had divine masculine energy, but it was distorted divine masculine energy. I stopped in my mind calling him my divine masculine. He was my twin because he didn't possess sacred masculine energy. Jesus was showing me that. Jesus is the epitome, ascended master of sacred masculine energy to me. And so when I would think about that energy, that was not the same as my twin and what he was showing me. I couldn't associate my twin with divine masculine anymore. When I think of my divine masculine energy, it's that sacred masculine energy that's out there, that's as within, so without. It's what I'm projecting out. And the sacred masculine that I'm meant to come into union with, I did not have that connected to my twin anymore. If you think that that is the same, then your twin probably won't be reflecting distorted masculine energies unless he's on an ascension path and he's in the middle of growth and awakening and he's examining himself, and those distortions are really just reflections of what you have coming in. So first, the easiest thing for me to do was to stop calling him my divine masculine and start calling him my twin, not Lloyd, the one who was my catalyst twin. That was the very first. So when I would hear negative communication from him, or when I would get these weird feelings about something that was going on with him and that wasn't matching the 5D energy that I was feeling around me, it made more sense because it was like, okay, well, I feel divine masculine over here, but my twin it's not being reflected in my twin. That's because he's a separate vessel. He's just the vessel. And so it really helped me to understand more of why there was such a difference between the two energies, and why, if you feel divine masculine energy and a connection to this person, why he's insulting you, and why he's not agreeing with you, or why he's not being nice to you, or why that kind of treatment. That is distorted energy for sure. So that may help a little bit with your situation, but I just wanted to kind of address that too. Thank you so much for your donation, for supporting us.
So there's a good question here from Lady Ray. Do you think all twins meet and experience false twins before meeting their real twin? My perspective on that is that it depends on what point you are in your journey when you call in divine love. At the end of the day, that's what you're asking for. So if you're already spiritually awakened, you're doing healing on yourself, and you get yourself to a place where you're complete in yourself, and then you ask for it, I don't think there's any need for these, because you've already dealt with your karmic cycles, all these, all the distortions in you that have been placed on you. So if you waited and just worked on self-healing, to bring you back home to yourself, which is the twin flame journey, that's when you can call in, or you'll get the manifestation of the divine counterpart. Because until you are the embodiment of that, or close to, and I'm not saying that I've done a hell of a lot of healing work, and there's still stuff going on, but it's calling in a mirror to help you with your healing, rather than to like poke you with a stick so you heal. It's very different. It's a teamwork, working together. I mean, there's times when I was talking to Karen where it actually feels like I'm talking to myself. It actually feels like that. It's almost a bit trippy. I was like, "Ooh," but that's how it feels. And the difference between that and I had a catalyst twin and a false twin in my journey. My catalyst twin, when I look back now from a distance, she literally just triggered basically my core wounds, my main core wounds, which was about my father having being there but never emotionally available, never given me any time. And it was exactly the same dynamic that she was reflecting back to me. That was my main, one of my main core wounds as such. So that's what they do. They also removing templates about work. So I used to be a policeman, judging people instantly, and this sort of thing, almost shutting out half the world because of that, and always having to have control on my self, and not be so open with people out of that sort of template.
I think that it also it's hard to really answer that because it depends on what your belief system is around the word twin and what the story is behind that, what the end goal is behind that. Like if you have what you believe is a twin and there are no distortions there, you have a great connection, you're in communication, or, there's at least a respectful kind of connection. It's just that they're going through things on their end and you're going through things on your end. And it's not this kind of tumultuous dynamic or projection back and forth. It could be that this person is your divine masculine or your counterpart who will become your sacred counterpart that you come into union with. It just depends on what the definition of twin is. And I don't know that anybody really knows what the definition of twin is. So when you say twin, and no, that's a false twin, your definition of false twin is defined by what? Like, where do these definitions come from? It comes from those people's experiences who put the definitions on it. If you say that my twin is my twin and you take that label away from them, what else have you taken away? You've taken away the entire story that you believe is connected to a twin. So how do I know if this person is my twin? Well, what is a twin? And what does it mean to have a twin? And what does it mean at the end of the day to really, at the end of the day, having a twin could mean having someone who triggers you. It could mean having a divine counterpart. It could mean, it's so hard to know how to answer that question because you may define twin differently than I define twin. You may define twin the way that I did before I realized that there were other options and that I was being shown something differently. It may be that you define twin at this point in your journey the way that it's supposed to be defined for you then at that point in the journey, but I'm defining it at this point in my journey because they've shown me some more things that at a different space in time or level of consciousness I'm meant to see at this point. It's so hard to define that. The only way for me to kind of explain it to you guys is to say that the person that I believed was my twin, the definition catalyst twin, the one who launched me into my awakening journey, describes what our dynamic was. So when I say twin, it could be a bunch of different kinds of twin. When you say twin and you have a different dynamic, it could be that your twin is actually your sacred soulmate. It could be your divine counterpart. It could be that twin is the whole twin flame realm and paradigm is being shifted and shaken up right now. So those definitions are shifting right now. It has to do with your resonance, where you are in your journey, and what are you willing to hear? What are you willing to hear? Trish wanted to know if I could pull a card on whether he is her divine masculine. Again, it just goes to what does divine masculine mean to you? it's so hard to define that for you and for what we want to do most of all is define or tell you how we came to the definitions the way that we see them right now. We don't need definitions right now. We just, in order to be able to translate it to you guys or to those of you that feel comfortable and grounded within those definitions, we're trying to figure out a way to define those so that it makes sense to your experience. But I think at the end of the day, only you are going to be able to do that. We're trying to define them to our experience. So I had a catalyst twin that I was connected to that was projecting back to me all of the distortions that I needed to heal in order to get to this point. It took me 2 years to do that. And it was the beginning of my awakening journey. That was his purpose. And there's more to it. We have had lifetimes together before that. So there is more to it that we're going to reveal. But yeah, right? That was it. That was it. Straight up right here channel. This is important stuff that I know that you guys want to know about. And that's why we're here. That's why we want to talk about this. That's why we want to answer questions about it. And that's why we're here doing it together, because you guys have a lot going on that you would like answers to through our experience. So that's why we're doing this. We're going to be doing it more. I'll tell you what, Trish, I'm going to pull a card for you. She wanted to know if this person is her divine masculine. I'm going to pull a card for you, and I want you to interpret what it means for you. Okay. I can't give you a yes or no answer because I don't know what your definitions are. I don't know what what divine masculine means to you, but I'm going to pull a card and allow you to. What deck do I need for that? Energy Oracle deck. Cosmic Lotus said, I mean, it either is or it isn't. I'm not getting the logic here. It either is a twin or isn't a twin. Is that what you're asking? Or is that what you're saying?
I would suggest maybe looking at Matt Kahn's video on Twin Flames and Soulmates. That's quite an eye-opening video if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. All right, we only got like, much time do I have? I only have like 5 more minutes, 7 more minutes, and then I gotta go get my kids. I'm just gonna pull a card for you, Trish, and I'll let you know what I see, but I need you to interpret what that means for you. $29, it's number 11 card. The World.
Pretty good card.
So when you think about the World card, they always show me this one in the tarot also. The World card is the end of the Fool's journey. It's the end of a karmic cycle. But she's looking out to stepping off of this pier here and looking out to the world, like the world is within reach. It's there. It could be the end of a karmic cycle. It could be the beginning of a karmic cycle. It could be the end of karma. And yes, this person is your divine masculine. It's the number 11 card again. So it could be, number 10 is the number of completion. Number 11 is the number after the 10. So it's almost like coming to a karmic completion. You're going to be moving past it. Is this person, this is what you have to figure out, what you resonate with. Is this person standing just beyond that completion, or is this person important in your ability to come to that completion? Is he the catalyst to that kind of karmic completion through all of these lifetimes? Are you done going through all of the distortions from all of those lifetimes and ready to move forward? Has he brought you to that point and you're moving past, or is he standing just past that? What do you resonate with? Outside of fear, what do you resonate with? This, there's a dark side to it and there's a light side to it. There's lotuses in this too, actually. There's lotuses which are about new beginnings, purity. I'm gonna let you take that. Yes. Shane just said, ouch, hard to read that in too many ways. Yeah, but this is the thing about reading and tapping into your intuition. It's about what you resonate with. What part of that do you resonate with? Did you feel connected to the message of a karmic completion? And he did get me all the way up to these points, but I haven't gotten any visions of it past that. And so I resonate with that part of it, but then I fear the other part of it. It's figuring out what's resonance, what's ego, and what is, you know, a clear message. That's why I don't confirm or deny whether someone is your divine masculine or your twin or whoever it is, because your definitions may be different than my definitions. But at the end of the day, I gave you the pieces of the puzzle, and now you just have to figure out what you resonate with. All right, one more. There's another. There's another donation. I think my twin is my divine masculine, but I'm in a relationship. I really feel this, but I'm so confused. What's your advice moving forward?
Okay, so you're in a relationship. There's something inside you that's not happy there already. So you're projecting this outside, I would say. So there's obviously some issues there that need to be addressed or brought out into the open so they can be worked upon one way or another. It was a conversation we were having earlier. A lot of people keep a lot of stuff inside their head rather than speaking their truth. There's something about the relationship you're in that doesn't feel provided to you, and you need to address that and move past it. Either heal it if it's healable, or maybe leave. I don't know your dynamics. You have children, but this journey is about it's choosing you. It's loving yourself enough to choose you over anything. I mean, it was so hard for me to leave my children and my marriage, but it was so toxic and wrong. I had no choice, and the only way I could get the courage to do that was to say, if my boys felt like I did now, what would I be telling them to do? And it would be to leave. And so I would be a hypocrite if I didn't. And that's the way I empowered myself to make that, because by doing that, I was literally destroying the last part of my life, I suppose. I'd lost my career due to physical injury. I was told I would never have decent health again by the medical professions and written off that way. Then I was going to be losing my house, losing my relationship, and not spending so much time with my children who are my world. So but I was being told just leave. This is what Spirit was telling me from the beginning. You just have to go. You have to leave. Sometimes it is hard. We have to take hard knocks.
You had to choose yourself. It was time to start choosing yourself. So I got pretty much the same thing. The door to value. It's about self-worth. If your twin, your divine masculine, is, first of all, not the one that you're with right now, but you believe that, you know, a divine connection is what you deserve, then that relationship that you're in right now, you have a karmic attachment to that relationship that keeps you there because that's where you feel your value is right now. Your value is in being connected to someone else. The door to value is understanding that your twin or your divine masculine is a reflection of how you feel on the inside. And so if you're in a relationship that doesn't reflect your true worth and your true inner beauty to you, it's outside of that relationship, and it is, you believe that a divine connection is what you're worthy of. And so that's what you need to be examining. That's for sure. And it could be also that this door to value is them saying, Yes, your divine masculine is outside of that relationship. It could be your twin, your divine masculine with that person. It could be that person. But it also could just be that you need to not connect the energy to a person, because you're connecting your divine power to another person, and they want you to do that to yourself first. They want you to understand your own inner beauty and the value, your worth for yourself first. So there's that too. There's so many good questions on here. I can see them scrolling by, and I can see the clock ticking, and I have to go get my kids so that I'm not late. We were obviously just doing this to get this out of our system. I really want to come back and answer some of these questions. I don't know how to go back and answer them. Maybe we'll take some of these questions to just like a conversation, and we'll record a reading or something like that, record a video with some of the questions from this, but we're going to be coming back and going live again. I like the flow of this and talking to everybody and just kind of having a conversation about what this means for us, what this means for you, and how we can help you to see through our eyes and see what we saw, and hopefully just launch you forward into what? Into union here that reflects on the outside in a vessel that is able to reflect what you're worthy of. It's also being launched into mission and into just immense gifts that are going to contribute to unity consciousness and this collective, and helping to heal other people too. And there's so much purpose and drive in that we are in the middle of just like, we have to do more of this now. What is next for us? What is next? Let's go do it. Let's go do it right now. I'm in, we're all in. Let's figure it out and go do that. And that's coming for you guys too. So that's what we want to help you towards too. It's not just about, a lovely connection and relationship, though that is a bonus, obviously.
So
all right. Thank you, Lloyd, for coming on with me. This was his first live, so
thank you, everyone.
You did good.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, so I'll make an announcement the next time that we plan to come on live. That way you guys can plan on it and bring your questions, and we'll have more time to dig in. And you know how my lives go, they'll probably be like, it'll be like a 2-hour session. And so, all right, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for your donations and your support, and for hanging with us in the beginning with all the technical difficulties. It'll be a lot easier next time that we got all the kinks worked out. So thank you. Love you guys. Bye, babe. I'm going to hang up on you too, actually.
Okay.
I think. Let me figure out how to stop this thing. Technical difficulties. It'll be a lot easier.